Animates, you hear about them as soon as you open up After Effects, but nobody actually tells you what they do. And where do you find them? Which one should you use? Why does After Effects give you 3 different ways to do the exact same thing? Today, I'm breaking down the 3 simplest masking tools in After Effects. We'll start with the easiest and then end on my personal favorite. Everything else in After Effects, we'll save for another time. Hi, I'm Sarmolka. I'm a motion designer. I've been a motion designer for nearly 5 years. And funny story, I even went to school for motion design, and in one of my classes, I was supposed to teach mask. They gave us an assignment where we were supposed to show a tool. I was very, very shy back then. I didn't go into this without prepping. And yet, as soon as I stood up in front of the class, I couldn't figure it out. I figured it out eventually, but I'm sharing how to use all of these different kinds of masks so that this way, this does not end up being the confusing part of After Effects for you, because why should it be when there is a simple explanation for all of this? And to make this even easier, each mask has 3 sections. You'll get to hear what it is, how to make one, and what's special about it. Let's start with the simplest one, layer masks. What a layer mask is that it's pretty much a shape that is drawn directly on your layer to mask out a part of it. The way that you make one is that you will use the pen or shape tool and draw directly on the layer that you are masking and create the mask. With any of these masks, you can of course change size, shape, or anything. You can pick whether or not it's going to be inverted or the shape that you drew. What's special about layer mask is that it's a single use. You draw directly on the layer and then you never use it again. But that brings me on to number 2. Number 2 is the set mat. This is the one that I had trouble with in school, and it is also the one that is now obsolete because Adobe has made enough updates that bring my personal favorite, which is number 3, to the top of my yes, definitely use over the other masks. What a set mat is it's an effect that you get to drag onto your layer. After you drag it onto your layer, you're going to go into your effects panel and you get to choose which other layer in your timeline you're going to select and use as a mask for the layer that this effect is applied to. And then that outside layer, let's say it's layer B, becomes the parameters, the shape that will be used to as a mask for the layer that the preset is set to. Let's call it layer A. Hopefully that made sense. And again, you can change whether it's going to be the selection or it's going to be the inverse of it. Unlike with layer masks, if you want to change the shape or change the movement or do anything with the actual mask when you're using a set mount mask, you would actually have to go into the layer that you're using that the set mat is linked to layer B, and then you would change that. So that's what made set mats useful, is that you could actually use the same layer B for multiple layers, and that you could use that as a mask for all of them instead of the single-use layer of layer masks. But it became absolute when they updated number 3, which is track mats. Track mats is actually built into your layer itself. You'll notice on your timeline next to the layer name, in fact, a little further down, you'll notice that there is an option to link a mask for a different layer. Similar to set mat, it will use a different layer as your masking option. So let's say you have a layer C. Layer C is going to become the mask that you link to using the track mat by dragging the pinwheel or selecting it from the drop-down menu. Then you can pick whether it's going to be that shape or you're going to invert it. This tool did not used to be as advanced. In fact, set mat was the tool that I was originally using to do the same thing that I now do with TrackMat. But TrackMat has become my top tool. It's the tool that I would use the most. TrackMat is also one that you can use multiple times over, multiple layers. So the key thing that you should know after watching this video is use layer masks if you want a mask directly on your object or layer, and it will be a single use. At this point, use set mats if you want, but understand that it's more obsolete and you want to mask something without linking it. Track mats you want to use if you want to use another layer to act as a mask. If you found this video useful, can you give it a thumbs up? Once you try these out, you'll find out how much smoother masking in After Effects can be.